Well, hello, come in. Martin and I were just talking about how can we keep the Sabbath day holy. And Martin, with his wonderful memory for melodies, remembered this. You remember it? From a movie called The Chariots of Fire a few years ago. You remember this story? It was a fairly modestly produced movie, but it had a great success. And I loved it. I never did understand exactly what the Chariots of Fire were, but I sure loved the story. And the moral. Eric Liddell, he said of himself, God made me fast, and he did. One of the fastest men in the world. And so with the Olympics coming up, he had tremendous pressure to compete in the 100-meter dash. All of the fans in Great Britain were cheering for him, and the king himself was putting great pressure on him to run that race and win it. But it was on Sunday, and Eric Liddell didn't run on Sundays. Remember the movie, there was a happy ending. The powers that be got together and said, well, let's have him run the 400-meter. That's not on Sunday, which he did. And he won the gold, and he was a great hero. We had our own charioteer of fire, Eli Herring, one of the finest linemen in football. When he graduated from college at Brigham Young University, the offers poured in from professional teams for him to come and play for them. He was offered $1.5 million just to sign. And of course, probably millions on top of that. Eli Herring declined for the same reason. He didn't play on Sunday. He also hastened to add he wasn't questioning or judging other Christian athletes who did that. But for him, it was not an option. 20 years later, he says it was still a good idea. He would do it again. Instead, he took a job as a high school teacher for $22,000 a year. And now, 20 years later, with a family of 7 and a happy and content, he said, no, it was the right thing to do. Well, what do we do on the Sabbath day? That's a big discussion these days. And some people like to quote Isaiah. Isaiah said, among other things, make the Sabbath a delight. That sounds like a good idea. The children would love that. What could be better than delightful? And so we come up with lots of creative ways to do that, and I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. But I think if you read a little more in Isaiah, you'll find out more what he's got in mind. It's okay to make it a delight for us if it's good things, but better would be to make it a delight for our Heavenly Father. What would make him pleased? What would make him happy? If we do that, we will find that he will reward us in ways better than even we could have thought of. He will provide for us our greatest delights, shall we say. They may not be millions of dollars in sports contracts. They may not be Olympic glory. But they will be golden moments and golden memories and eternal blessings. And we will enjoy it in the process. No good work will ever go unrewarded.